to the Watchman Newscast live stream. We close out an historic week in the Middle East. And how's this for an open? We don't bury the lead here. There are reports that the United States is discussing basically sending 1 million Palestinians from Gaza to Libya. So 1 million Palestinians would relocate to Libya. This is being discussed right now. And President Trump, look, yesterday during his visit to the United Arab Emirates, called for Gaza to be a freedom zone. That's the term he used. And he said the United States would be glad to oversee and administer that freedom zone. Now, what he's thinking, I believe, is what he discussed back in February during his White House meeting then with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Essentially, you're getting Hamas out of Gaza first and foremost, but you're essentially emptying Gaza out. It's been a giant booby trap, thanks to Hamas, for decades, and a terror hornet's nest. Empty it out. It's beautiful oceanfront property, seafront property, I should say, right on the Mediterranean. Incredible weather. And he's thinking, look, obviously you've seen this week, President Trump is about commerce and economic opportunity, forging peace. And he said as much yesterday. So he's thinking Gaza, look, kind of an opportunity zone where there's international business there. You make it a tourist hotspot. Can it work? Who knows? But it's the first outside the box idea we've heard about Gaza in literally decades, half a century at least. So is this all part of that? What do you think? Let's just lay the gauntlet down right away. What do you think about this idea? Palestinians going to Libya, and apparently in exchange, you might be saying, well, what does Libya get out of this? Of course, in exchange, I think there were some funds maybe withheld over the years by the U.S. to Libya over Libya's dubious behavior, support for terror, et cetera. Maybe that's released in exchange. But it's all about commerce, it seems, when it comes to President Trump's approach to the Middle East right now. He's saying, and we're going to talk about this a bit more, he's saying that, look, if I can forge economic ties, strong economic ties with the Saudis, Qataris, UAE, even Syria now.
Only 1% of people know about this special cleaning product. Stop scrubbing your oven like it's not.
I can flip them away from the China, Iran, Russia orbit. Can it work? I don't know, folks. We'll have to wait and see. But I can tell you, this is what President Trump and the administration seem to be thinking. With Syria, a lot of people are saying, what is going on? This guy's Al-Qaeda through and through, had a $10 million bounty on his head until just recently. President Trump saying, we're going to dangle again that economic carrot in front of him. And now the Saudis, UAE, Qatar, and Qatar, obviously, we've talked about a bunch here on the live stream, very problematic pro-Hamas regime, propping Hamas up, to say the least, Muslim Brotherhood. But Trump is saying, okay, if we can engage in commerce with them, and again, they're investing now trillions of dollars. He brought home $3 trillion in foreign investment for the United States during this trip over the last few days to the Middle East. He's saying, look, if they're so tight with us economically and interwoven with us, then China, Iran, Russia, they won't have that foot in the door like they had in places like Saudi Arabia. That's the hope. Will it work? We shall see. We're going to talk about it here in a minute. Also, big airstrikes. I mean, punishing airstrikes, massive today in Yemen and Gaza. Israel just launched, as I'm coming to you, Friday afternoon around 4:20 in Texas, a new operation in Gaza. And the goal this time is to completely, it was the goal all along, but now that President Trump's in office, Israel feels like it has more of a green light, clearly, to completely vanquish Hamas, finish the job in Gaza. And what's happening in Yemen? I mean, the Houthis, folks, still launching ballistic missiles on a practically daily basis at Israel. Israel responding today, massive airstrikes against Houthi ports, but it goes deeper. Now it's tit for tat. The Houthis are threatening Benjamin Netanyahu directly. They are threatening to target Israel's leadership in these missile and drone strikes. And Israel, in exchange, is targeting or threatening to target the Houthi leadership.